Have you ever watched a friend, or maybe even yourself, go back to the same type of person over and over again? That charming partner who surprise ends up breaking their heart, just like the last one. It feels like a movie we've already seen, and we know the ending isn't happy. So why do we keep buying the ticket? What if I told you that the very comfort you're seeking is secretly leading you right back into the pain you're desperate to escape? It sounds crazy, right? But our brains are wired in fascinating and sometimes frustrating ways. We're designed to seek out what's familiar, even if that familiarity is a storm we've weathered a dozen times before. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this strange human habit. We'll explore the hidden psychological drivers that make us find a strange sense of home in the very chaos we claim to hate. This isn't just about bad choices. It's about a deep, unconscious quest for something we might not even be aware of. So let's talk about this comfort in the known chaos. Think about it. When you're faced with a choice between a path you've walked before, even a rocky one, and a completely new, unknown trail, which one feels safer? Our brain, a magnificent pattern recognition machine, often screams, "Pick the one we know." It's about predictability. Even if the predictable outcome is negative, at least we know what to expect. There are no surprises. This is the comfort zone paradox. The pain is familiar. The arguments are familiar. The heartache is familiar. It's like a well-worn, uncomfortable pair of shoes. They pinch and they hurt, but they're asterisk shoes. We know exactly where they'll rub us the wrong way. A new, healthier relationship? That's uncharted territory. It's uncertain. What are the rules here? How do I act? This new dynamic can feel more terrifying than the predictable pain of the old one, because the unknown is the brain's biggest enemy. We are drawn to these familiar relational dynamics not because we're masochists, but because our minds are desperately trying to create order and predictability in a chaotic world. Now, let's get a bit deeper and talk about the psychological blueprint that's running the show. This isn't just a habit. It's often rooted in our earliest experiences. This is where something called attachment theory comes in. The bonds we form with our caregivers as infants and children create a template for all our future relationships. If our early environment was inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, or chaotic, we may unconsciously seek out partners who recreate that same dynamic in adulthood. It's not because we want to be hurt, but because that emotional landscape feels like home. It's what love, on some deep level, is supposed to feel like to us. Then there's a powerful concept called repetition compulsion. This is our unconscious drive to reenact past traumas or difficult relationship dynamics. It's as if a part of us is saying, "This time, I'll get it right. This time, I'll fix the original wound. I'll make the distant person love me. I'll finally get the validation I never received." We keep casting the same characters in our life's play, hoping for a different ending. These patterns are held in place by what psychologists call schemas, core beliefs about ourselves and the world. If you have a schema that says, "I am unlovable," or "people always leave," your brain will actively filter for evidence that proves this true, leading you right back to people who confirm your deepest, most painful beliefs. So hearing all this might feel a little heavy. You might be thinking, "Great, I'm doomed to repeat my past forever." But that is absolutely not true. The most powerful tool you have is awareness. The moment you can step back and say, "Ah, there it is. That's the pattern," you've already taken the first and most crucial step toward breaking the cycle. This is where the real work begins. Start by becoming a detective in your own life. Journaling can be incredibly powerful. Write down your feelings, your relationship history, the types of people you're drawn to. Look for the common threads. What did it feel like? What were the red flags you might have ignored? This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about gathering data. Seeking therapy with a professional who understands these dynamics can be life-changing. A therapist can help you identify your schemas and attachment style in a safe, supportive environment. And crucially, you have to practice self-compassion. Please understand, these are not moral failings or signs of weakness. These are deeply ingrained survival mechanisms that you developed for a reason. Berating yourself for falling into the pattern only strengthens the negative self-beliefs that keep the cycle going. Instead, try to approach yourself with kindness and curiosity. Once you have that awareness, you can start forging new paths. This is about consciously choosing to do things differently, even when it feels scary and uncomfortable. It means learning to tolerate the anxiety of the unknown. When you meet someone who is kind, consistent, and emotionally available, your nervous system might initially scream, "This is boring," or "This is suspicious." That's the old pattern fighting to stay alive. Your job is to learn to sit with that discomfort and give the new, healthy dynamic a chance. It's like trying a new food. Your palate is used to something else, and it takes time to acquire the taste. I've seen people go from a lifetime of chaotic relationships to finding stable, loving partnerships, but it always starts with the conscious choice to step off the familiar, painful path. They learn to set boundaries. They learn to value peace over passion-fueled drama. They learn that healthy love is not a roller coaster. It's a safe harbor. The liberation that comes from breaking these cycles is profound. It's like stepping out of a dark, noisy room into the quiet sunshine. Suddenly, you realize you have a choice. You are not destined to replay the hurts of your past. You are the author of your story, and you can start a new chapter whenever you decide to. So I want to encourage you to reflect on your own familiar scars. What are the patterns you keep repeating? What familiar pain do you find yourself returning to? Taking that first step towards understanding why is an incredible act of courage and self-love. You deserve relationships that nurture you, not ones that reopen old wounds. Healing is possible, and it starts today. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content on psychology and self-growth. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's support each other on this journey.